Hey there, would you like to create a massive amount of change in a short amount of time? Well, hi, I'm Jeff Sutherland. I'm a partner with Growth Yard Coaching and also an associate broker at eXp Realty out of Arizona. You're going to learn a formula where I taught in front of a very large group of real estate agents up at United Wholesale Mortgage up in Pontiac, Michigan in February of 2026. You're going to learn a success formula that some of the most successful people in life have used. This is a champion's formula. I hope you enjoy this formula and you use it for your success. And I'd love to hear stories about how you create massive change in a short amount of time.
Jeff is a top producer. He's in that seat every day, getting deals done. And he's going to share his secret formula for creating results for high achievers. Jeff.
Thank you, Shannon. All right. Who's ready to make a large amount of change in a short amount of time? Can I get an amen or yeah? I'm talking large amounts of change in a short amount of time, right? Okay, if we're going to do this, I have to ask you a favor. If you're on your laptop, I'm going to ask you to shut it down because I'm going to give you an idea today that is what I call a $10,000 idea. Okay, this is a $10,000 idea I'm going to give you today. So I'm going to ask you just to take a minute and focus on what I'm going to say, all right? So I'm going to ask you to visualize right now and go ahead and close your eyes, if you could, please, that you're going to stroke me a check. I don't see your eyes closed. You're going to stroke me a check for 10 grand, okay? If you don't know what a check is, if you're younger, pretend you know what a check is. It's a piece of paper, you write it down, and then you give it to somebody, and then $10,000 exits your account. So, yeah, she's like, no, that doesn't sound good. But I want you to pretend, this is pretend, you're spending $10,000 to listen to me for the next 10 minutes. Well, I think a lot of us got here pretty much for free. It's a blessing. The United Wholesale Mortgage basically pays our flight, pays for our hotel, even feeds us, and now pretend you're paying big money to hear this message, okay? I want you to write this down. If you want to create an extraordinary life, then you need to make extraordinary commitments and you need to keep them. If you want an extraordinary life, you need to make extraordinary commitments and you need to keep them. Would you guys agree with me when I say that we don't do a very good job keeping all of our commitments, right? If I really asked all you guys here, if you kept all of your commitments today, I bet you very few of you would be able to say yes. We don't keep our commitments on a daily basis. And the way you do some things is the way you do all things. Would you agree? The way you do some things is the way you do all things. I want you to really think about that statement. You might want to write it down because if you're habitually late to things, chances are that's showing up in your life in other areas. The way you do some things is the way you do all things. Let me ask you a question. Do dogs like bones? Do dogs like bones? Okay, I'm going to challenge your thinking. They don't like bones. They like steak. They like steak. If I put a steak in front of my dog and a bowl of bones next to my dog, I guarantee you he'd go after the steak. He'd go after the steak every time. You know why they like bones, though? Because they settle for bones. That's all they've ever gotten is bones. So my question to you is, are you settling for bones in your business? Who's sick and tired of settling for bones? Can I get an amen? All right, good. So this is about showing you how you can get some steak today with this secret formula that people like Michael Jordan have used, Oprah Winfrey, Tiger Woods, great CEOs. I'm sure Matt from UWM has used this. This is a formula that champions use. This is what the elite use. It's really not rocket science, but I'm going to share it with you today. And if you employ it, I promise you, you will make huge strides. Speaking of strides, we're going to do a 90-day sprint. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a few days to get ready because the sprint starts on March 1st. Who's in? Okay, good, you're in. That's the first commitment. March 1st is the day we start, okay? The 90 days ends on June 1st. So write that down on your piece of paper. March 1st begins the 90-day sprint, okay? And then the first thing we're going to do is set an intention. An intention is very important. It's your deepest desire, something that you absolutely have to have. It's right up there next to oxygen. You need this so bad, and there's no way you're not going to get it done, right? In fact, there's a saying, when the intention is clear, the mechanism will appear. And as agents, you know what? We actually get overtrained sometimes. We spend too much time in training, and that becomes an avoidance mechanism to do the things we should be doing, which is lead generating. We hang out in classes. We're smart, but we're not getting the job done, right? Some of you are actually going to too much training. Can you believe I actually said that, right? We're in the business of relationships. So the first thing you do is you set an intention and make it a SMART goal. You guys have heard of this acronym, right? S for specific, not vague. M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic. If you set a goal, I coach my agents to take about a 50-50 chance of hitting that goal. If you're a little nervous and you get a little agita in your tummy after setting a goal, that means you're alive. You were alive, right? I want you to be a little nervous. Make it something that's attainable, but also tough. And then the T, timely. You bind everything to a deadline. I run my life in 90-day sprints, man. June 1st is the next deadline. Mine starts on March 1st, setting huge goals, right? So first you set the intention. And after that, you document and you declare your intention to the universe. Why would I want to declare my intention to the universe? Anybody? Yeah, it becomes reality, right? And accountability, right? That's it. You can't hide behind it when you declare it to the universe. Everybody knows it. They're going to call you out on it. And if you really believe the people want to help you, they will. Put it on social media. My coach gave me this goal. Can you help? You wouldn't believe the people that will come out of the woodwork to help you achieve that goal. So you're going to declare to the universe, and then you're also going to make promises. You're going to make promises. Let's say one of you has a young boy or young daughter, and they're about ready to ride a bike. And you said, when I achieve this 90-day goal, I'm going to buy you a bike. But if I don't, I can't get you the bike. Do you not think that you'd move heaven and earth to hit that goal? You just made it not about you. You made it about somebody else. You took an emotional risk to make this goal, which many people are not willing to do. They're just not willing to do it. So you promise somebody that you love a gift at the end of the 90 days. That's skin in the game. This is what champions do. They get into discomfort because there's no growth in comfort. There's only growth in discomfort. So they purposely put themselves in that place, okay? So they take an emotional and they take a financial risk. Example, 10 years ago, I get this agent that walks to my office. We're in Phoenix in July. It's hotter than you know what. His business is not doing well. He usually does 15 to 20 deals a year. We'll call him Steve. He says, Jeff, I need to get some business going. I'm like, okay, let's go through this exercise. What's the goal? He said, I want 7 listings. All right, Steve, that's good. 7 listings. All right, what is your reward going to be? I'm going to go to Hawaii and I'm going to take my wife. I'm like, awesome. Which island? What resort? I had him spell out the details. I wanted him emotionally attached to that goal, right? He was excited that he was going to go to Hawaii. He made a promise to his wife that when he hit the goal, they were going to Hawaii. They even had the time booked, right? That was his reward. And I said, what about the consequence? He said, well, there's a person that runs this organization. I don't like what they push out to the world. How about I write a check for $500 and I'll send that money to that organization? And I said, well, I kind of chuckled. I'm like, I know you a little bit better than that, Steve. Is $500 really going to hurt you? He's like, no. I'm like, how about $2,500? Now, I want you to think about if you had to write a $2,500 check to an organization that you despised, would that kind of motivate you a little bit? Okay, why? It's because it just hit your core values. You took that whole goal from a head to a heart level. You're operating at the heart level at this point, and that is an infringement upon your core values. So Steve made promises, he has a reward, and he has a consequence. Okay, last thing, deadline, June 1st. Got that in writing. Everything's in writing. And then the ultimate thing, which is the most important thing, is accountability. How many people here have gotten into this business because they're like, I want to have freedom. I want to be a 1099 agent. Do we actually have freedom? How many people love accountability? Anybody here embrace it? She does. I'm telling you guys, champions love accountability. May not always be fun, but they know without it, you're kind of screwed. 80% of success is accountability. There's a guy named Gary Keller that wrote a great book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book. Great book. I've read it. How many of you read it? Right? And if you read it, by the way, you should be a millionaire, right? How come people that are here that have read it are not all millionaires? You know why? Because if how-tos were enough, we'd all be skinny, rich, and happy. because there's books to write on how to be a millionaire. There's books we read on how to have a better diet. How come we're not all, perfectly fit then? It's not about the how-tos. It's not about the mechanisms. It's about your intention. How bad do you want it? So Steve had accountability. Every single day, he had to text me his activities every day. Anybody here have daily accountability? If you want big time results, you submit to another human being and agree to text them your activities every day. You get attached to the activities and detached from the results. And guess what? You'll get results. Every day he had to tell me how many social media posts he put out, how many calls he made, how many personal notes he wrote, how many outbound calls, everything, every day. And guess what happened at the end of 90 days? Who here believes that he hit his goal of 7 listings? Right on the money. Who believes he hit it right on the money? Okay, a few of you. How many people believe that he actually went above the 7 listings? Guess how many listings? 15. 15 in 90 days. Just by going through this exercise, right? We can go to all the school we want to, but it really has to go from your head to your heart, right? So that's our mission. If you've noticed, all 3 of us are very different. And we want to help our fellow agents, our colleagues in this business. I'm going to put a QR code up here right now, and it is a free gift from us to you. And these are the questions you need to ask yourself to get clarity on your intention, And that means, what do you want? Why do you want it? How many lead funnels do you have? Who's your accountability partner? All these things. And we're here to support you. And I'm done with my, I'm just so pumped up today, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to hand it back over to Brian.